Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, they're great in the mind. Ken and the bold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Welcome to you guys on Rumble, X, Facebook, and YouTube. And it looks like the TV is down again, Ken. Technology.
No, not even technology. StreamYard's bullshit.
No, that's technology, dude.
Oh, I was more putting technology with the TV.
Well, your TV isn't busted. The technology that fuels the TV is busted.
Well, it's no, it's not even that. It's the streaming service that's busted.
And we got a special guest this morning, who I guess we don't get to see him this morning, even though we see him at night.
Oh, let me get my camera on.
There you go. Wake up with us.
You're a bum.
Will Vogel is in the house.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's well. I don't have any coffee near me, but it's okay. I'm awake-ish now.
Well, let's say, how do you start your day?
I actually do a Fairlife protein shake. One of those Fairlife shakes.
Like I said, how do you start your day?
Like a 90-year-old person, apparently.
Sounds like it. I agree. I agree.
Oh, my goodness.
No. If I was 90 years old, I'd be like, I wake up every day and I scream at the world saying, why, God, me? Why?
Hey, wait a second. Fred. Hello, Fred. Where are you, Fred?
Yeah.
Usually Fred's here before we are in the morning. He's like 10 minutes early saying good morning.
I'm setting up real quick. I'm not going to be in my normal spot. I'm actually going to be
in a different spot. Fred this morning? I feel betrayed.
Hey, Fred? I'm gonna try to be here every morning. I'm not working because I love you guys. You guys are great. Love talking to you on JBs, and I want to show more love. So.
Speaking of a JB,
hey,
we got everybody.
Hey.
How's it going?
What's up, everybody?
Well, let me see I was going to go somewhere, but I'm not going to. I'll say this: the government's open today.
Huge bonus.
Right?
Yeah, our viewership will be down because they'll have to go to work.
Yeah, you know what's great about it? No more.
How many government?
Sorry.
Wait a minute. How many government workers do we actually have that watch the show?
Probably
hope not many.
Because if there's government workers watching the show that I'm doing, I'm probably not going to be on the show too long.
They're feds. They don't care.
I'm just happy that the flight canceling thing will be over. Like, that whole spiel was awful. Like, my parents, thank God.
Go ahead.
Thank God, are out of the country. They were able to make their flight. They're in actually Berlin. Shout out Ken. My family's heritage is German. They're visiting my nephew and my brothers.
Do you not see my last name? It doesn't get much more German than having the right in your name.
Yeah, my last name means bird. I was this close to making my channel name.
Wait, do you hear what mine means? It literally means rich balls.
Yes, it does. Mine means bird. So we got a rich balls and we got a bird on the panel.
And now you can see how we've gone off the rails already this morning.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
It wouldn't
what's
be a
not
Thursday.
a show when it goes off the
So,
rails?
AJ Brown was on his Twitch stream last night,
Mhm.
and
Oh, was
he told all fantasy owners, drop me because I'm not being utilized in this offense.
Not only
yeah, I
that.
mean, first
Now-
off, wait a minute. The most important question is what game was he playing while he was on Twitch?
He wasn't playing a game. He was on a stream about
Well, he
talking
just did a
about
podcast.
fantasy football.
He ended up doing one later where he was playing Madden, and he said, "I'm going to show my stats from Madden to my son, so at least I got some highlights."
Oh my goodness! I know.
Is
Look,
it just
this
is it just
is
me
kind
or
of why
is
Let him finish.
sorry?
this is kind of like why he got traded out of Tennessee to begin with. He's a prima donna little baby. Like,
Yo,
just now watch. They're going to ball out to him this week. It's like he's going to cry about all this. And he's going to come into the game on Monday night and have fucking 15 catches for 283 yards and 8 touchdowns.
again, if he plays Monday night, he's playing in Dallas or Las Vegas. It's Sunday night football.
Well, Sunday, you know what I mean.
I'm just saying.
Dude, he's turning into Antonio, where he's a drama queen.
No.
Yeah.
Antonio went crazy because Vontae Burfict knocked his brain into his asshole.
True.
But
Good point.
he's actually turning into more a TO, a player that plays well when he's utilized, but when he's not, he's a drama queen. And what always
Good
happens
point.
is he comes out and does this like this, and it isn't that very same game, the next game, because Jalen Hurts specifically does not target him that next game. So he goes even more ballistic the next week, and then they utilize him again. That's how it goes every time.
True.
Jalen Hurts says, "Oh, you want to bitch about it? Fuck you." He goes to Devonta Smith, and he goes to the tight end, and he goes to Saquon Barkley. And then the next week, he goes back to A.J. Brown.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Good morning, Fred.
Hey.
We were getting worried. You were late this morning. We were getting worried, Fred.
Yeah, that's okay. He's only 7 minutes late.
Well, to be fair to Fred, I did talk to Fred before the show started.
Oh, okay. Oh, because he's usually here at 10 minutes prior. He says good morning, drops it in 10 minutes before we go on air, and then he'll drop it again after we go on air. So he's 17 minutes late. Get it right. But, I mean, it's like, yeah, the prima donna, that's what I love about this Bears team right now. Like, to think about it. The week prior, Rome Odunze 0 catches. Rome says nothing. He blocks his ass off.
That's a hell of a reason to be late, buddy.
But no, he blocks his ass off. He does other things. Last week, DJ Moore, no catches, but he's blocking his ass off, doing other things. And neither of these guys have said a thing because they get it's a team sport. And hey, I'm not going to eat every day. My team, I have talented teammates. They need to eat too. And you know what? It's cool because it's a rotating door. Like, yeah, I might not get fed for 2 games and I'm going to blow up. But it doesn't matter if we win all 3 games because if they're busy watching me and the ball's going to my teammate, that's a good thing. A.J. Brown needs to learn that maybe a little bit and stop being a whiny little bitch.
I agree.
The dude's still going to get paid. I think that's a problem. I think these guys equate Joe, tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think these guys equate, well, my stat line of how many receptions I have, how many yards, how many touchdowns is the only reason I'm going to get a contract.
Absolutely. I agree, Ken.
Yeah, sometimes just not rocking the boat is, there's a lot to be said for it. Like, why fuck with a thing that's winning? Like, that's what I don't understand. Is like you're 7-2, 7-3, 8-2, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. 7-2, yeah.
7-2. What are you bitching about, dude? Like,
I can kind of understand to a degree what he's bitching about, not to the full extent, but you want to feel like you're an actual part of that, not that you're just kind of out there. And it goes to the whole the squeaky wheel gets the grease type of thing. But yeah, Brandon, I think he's going overboard with it.
Yeah.
but I can understand to a degree.
Dude, I think if you're on a winning team and you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a game and you're sitting here crying because you're not getting the ball, you just need a hug.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I mean, you know, you know what AJ Brown should do? I'm sorry. You know what? Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
It's the same thing that happens every week. You see this every week. Every time he's not utilized in a game or doesn't get catches, even if he's covered or bracketed, he bitches. Then he goes another game without a target. And then the next game, he goes off for like 150 yards and 3 scores.
Yeah, I mean, like, get your damn name out of people's mouths. You know, it's in the reverse. If you're AJ Brown, get your name out of people's mouths. That's what the goal should be if you're AJ Brown. Once again, I go back to the Bears and the way this receiving room is because and you know what? I can almost include Minnesota. I think I don't hear JJ or Addison bitching when one of them doesn't get targets. I don't hear Romeo Dobbs bitching if he doesn't get enough targets for Green Bay.
No, he doesn't bitch. He just sits out practice.
But I mean, yeah. But I mean, the thing is with these guys, like look at Luther Burden III. He's been getting in some games, but he didn't get a lot of balls thrown, but he blocks his ass off. Roma Dunze blocks his ass off.
Okay.
DJ Moore last week blocks his ass off. And none of these guys bitch about, I didn't get the rock enough. Here's and why? Because blocking is just as important as catching the passes. And if you're freeing up your teammates to do good things and get scores, that's what it's fucking all about, AJ Brown. But here's AJ Brown. Well, I have to be the man. Well, maybe you should go be the man in Arizona.
Okay,
Hey, I just want to say real quick, there's one key difference between Dobbs and all those other guys, though. Those other guys don't drop half the passes Dobbs does.
This is true. And there's the one more thing. AJ Brown has been in the league how long? You can't compare him to Luther Burden, a rookie, and a second-year guy in Roma Dunze that's just coming into his own.
Well,
DJ Moore was a good one, but the other two are not because you're talking about a vet. You're talking about a vet that has tenure. When you talk about tenured vets, you got to look at the people that were around the same type of player.
Okay, fine. I get from that aspect. From the aspect of just shut up and go to your job, though, you can. But here's the other thing that Joseph failed to mention with Romeo Dobbs that makes him different is you can see his fucking helmet from the moon.
What are you talking about? From the moon? It has a moon.
But,
it encapsulates the entire universe is in there.
Yeah.
The entire universe.
I think that's half of his drops as it hits the satellite that orbits it.
I think
He's got the whole wide
world
world in his head. He's got the whole wide world in his head.
I think he's got a couple of the Infinity Stones in there.
Dude, that's
Just
his
not the one that
ego.
allows you to catch a football.
Dude, that's
Ken?
his ego.
Yeah, all right, Josh. I'm going to tell you that I wouldn't fire him directly after the game, but his seat is now scorching hot. You have one more mess up at any point at the rest of the year, and I'm willing to move on.
Okay,
Wow.
so I have a question for you. If you guys do move on from LaFleur, hypothetically, who would you like?
In a dream scenario, Chucky. But
That ain't happening.
I was going to say, you don't know with that lawsuit going on if it's going to be possible or not.
Brian Flores.
I don't want a defensive coach because I want to keep Halfley on. I'd even be okay with saying screw it and promoting Halfley to head coach and go out and getting an offensive coordinator.
So ironic, isn't it, Broski, that Packer fans are in this position because, well, hold on, let me go to Nick's comment here. Chucky's going nowhere. Let me walk the dog here for you guys, okay? Here's the difference between Chucky and Flores. Both have lawsuits against the NFL. Flores is going to arbitration, and he's currently a coordinator, and he has been, right? A very successful one. His arbitration will probably end before the league season ends, which means he'll probably be in the head coaching pipeline, and he'll probably get a job. And sorry, Minnesota, he's probably gone. Now, Chucky just got done with this court case in front of the Nevada State Supreme Court, and they ruled that he does not have to go to arbitration. So you think, great, they're going to set a trial date. Well, wait a minute. The NFL says, hold our collective beers because no, we're not. We're going to file a shit ton of motions to dismiss the case again and to do this and to do the other and to blah, 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 blah. They have filed no less, I think, than a dozen motions right now. The court has to adjudicate. And yes, maybe we can get lucky and the court adjudicates all 12 of them at once and tells the NFL to pound sand. You're going to court over this. But you know and I know that's not the way our legal system works. No, lawyers need to get paid. And so it's going to drag out. So I don't even think Chucky's going to get a court date for at least another year. And then after that, maybe he'll be open to coaching in the NFL again.
But actually, also, Ken, I think one of the motions that he filed was a writ of that the NFL filed was a writ of certiorari. I think they actually appealed to the United States Supreme Court to try to overrule the Nevada Supreme Court that it can still go to arbitration.
And I have not seen where the Supreme Court, who's in session right now,
I don't think they're going to take it, but
I don't. Yeah, if they don't take it, then that's basically a decision, obviously. But yeah, the word from the Supreme Court has not come to whether or not they'll even hear it, grant a temporary injunction, because sometimes they'll grant a temporary injunction if they're going to consider it. They haven't even done that. But yeah, so the NFL does not want to go to trial with Chucky, probably for a good reason, because Chucky's probably got him by the balls.
Oh, absolutely. But let me invoke a little bit of Don King here, because only in America are you going to get the freaking highest court in the land deciding over a case of a football league versus one of the coaches.
Yeah.
So I do have a quick one for you. And this is kind of funny. Arbitration is how far behind still because of COVID? It went 2 years behind during that 6-month shutdown during the lockout, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it got 6 months behind then, which actually put when they were already 6 months behind, which makes it a year. And then we've had another shutdown that for the last couple of months since August, right?
But how many arbitrations does the NFL have?
I think there's about 8 of them, actually. There's some from the veterans. There's some from this. There's some from that. The one from the veterans is older than all of them.
This one will get pushed to the front because it involves a current coach. I think they want to get this done because if it gets decided somewhat in their favor, I think they want to try to use it in the Chucky trial, which I don't see how they can because I think they're apples and oranges. But I mean, he'll probably be done sooner than Chucky. But Chucky's not taking a job in Green Bay if this court case isn't done. And look at it. I think it's funny, Broski, that Green Bay is like talking this way. Like if we lose to the Giants this week, which they very well could. It's not outside the realm of possibilities. It's actually this is going to be a really good game, I think. I think they're stupid to fire LaFleur, to be honest with you.
So there's a couple ways to look at this, right? Like LaFleur is a good coach; he's a really good coach. But just like with Mike McCarthy in the past, it seems like when you're a head coach at a certain place long enough. You know, especially if you're an offensive coach, like other teams' defenses get very familiar with your system. They kind of pick up on things. You know, it kind of gets stale because, you know, these other teams have like seen you so much. They have so much film on you. They are very familiar with you. Not sure we're getting to that point yet with LaFleur, but that can have something to do with it a little bit. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to help their case this week that they're going to be starting this backup center with no experience. And it's typical Green Bay. They really haven't surrounded Love with great pass catching targets either. Love I think is a really good QB. I think he was starting to come into his own this year. Yeah, he did struggle a little bit the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a combination of things in Green Bay right now. So I'm very curious to see how they come out this week.
Yeah, I don't think they should fire LaFleur at all. I think, if anything, you should clear out that wide receiver room before you fire LaFleur. Like, I hear a lot of Green Bay fans talking about all the screens that you guys run. Like, oh, we're so tired of the screens, right? But every time Jordan Love tries to go down the field, your guy drops it. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, is he just supposed to hand the ball off every play? Yeah. Like, you got to throw the ball somewhere. And like, so to me, I think I agree with Broski. I think it's a lack of pass catching talent. And
strangely enough, offensive line talent, because I used to sit there and joke that they grew him in Ken's backyard, and I guess they had a drought and they didn't have a crop at all. So really, if I'm looking at who I'm going to fire, if someone has to be fired in Green Bay, I'm not firing LaFleur. I'm whoever the Ed Obranovich, whoever the name of your president is, I'm walking to Goody's office, say, dude, pack your shit, you're out of here because you're not getting the talent.
Stanovich has been real good for us for developing offensive line and all that. But the past couple of years, we've had him as an offensive coordinator, and you've seen a little bit of dip in that offensive line play. And now I agree with you guys that there is still a issue at wide receiver because we got quite a few guys that are injured and not playing, and the guys that we do have they're playing right now brought out the popcorn again because they're dropping everything.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's cement delivery for people's hands. That goes to Green Bay, not my house.
Yeah. But my issue with the LaFleur thing is his play calling has become so predictable that you had Eagles players calling out the play before the snap. When you have that, there's no way you're going to be successful.
But that goes back to what Broski was saying, though, because look, as a Bears fan, Broski and I are uniquely able to tell you about this because it's what we bitched about for the last couple of years. But when you broke it down, why were the Bears always throwing the screens? Because the offensive line couldn't protect whoever we had a quarterback, be it Caleb last year or Fields prior to that, long enough for them to do anything minus a screen downfield. That's why the Justin Fields never pushed it 20 yards downfield because, you know, by the time they would get that, he's already running down the field himself. I mean, there's a reason that it gets predictable. It's because your offensive line sucks ass right now and isn't protecting Jordan Love enough, and therefore the only way he can get rid of the ball quick enough is a very quick screen, because anything over a quick screen usually means Jordan Love's in trouble.
That interior, the offensive line, I will give you guys, it is terrible this year. Banks so far has been a horrible signing for us. He's supposed to be this big road grader and all that, and we have not seen that at all from him.
Yes,
Morgan, I do like at guard, but that's one spot.
And that's why we've seen Josh Jacobs' yards per carry dip this year, is because of the interior O-line as a north and south runner.
Oh, absolutely, because he's almost getting touched as soon as he's getting the handoff. You see him have to make guys miss behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's a little, and also he's a little nicked up too, JB. I mean, if you give him a little credit, he's a little nicked up.
I understand that, but you know what he's starting to look like? A guy we signed after he left the team that drafted him, David Montgomery, getting hit almost a tenth to 2/10 of a yard behind the line before he ever gets past it, and averaging around 4 yards.
Well, you know who else was like that last year? Only averaged 3.9. A certain running back in Chicago, DeAndre Swift. Right? And I mean, so I mean, that's a thing. Like, when you break the shit down, where's the point of failure in these offenses more times than not? And here's the problem, Ken, and you're going to start to see this now. Because your offensive line is getting that rep that it can't protect, and that you guys don't have the time, give him the time to throw downfield, the box starts getting stacked more. Because that's the problem we had in Chicago. They're like, there's nothing we could do. They were stacking the box every time because it's like they smelt the blood in the water, right? And so it made it even, it compounds it. And now finally in Chicago, they're not stacking the box against the Bears. Why? Because the offensive line got better, a lot better, and can protect more. Now you've got to protect for those longer throws and these other play options that, well, to be honest, the Bears really didn't have in their arsenal last year because you didn't have the line to protect. So now what you're going to find in Green Bay, and I think you'll find that this week against New York, they're going to stack the box every down on you.
But at the same
and that's
time,
make it even harder. Go ahead, JB.
Thank God that Chicago's offense didn't get worse, because last year you guys had a 33.6% pressure rate against pressure. You improved to 26. The problem is the Lions went from a 15% to 26. Here's the teams that have a 26% blocking win rate. And you tell me what's weird. Denver Broncos, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, Packers, Buccaneers. You know what's funny? All of them are considered playoff teams right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's weird is Philly is up there at the top, not allowing sacks, but that's more due to the athleticism of Hurts and the way he escapes the pocket.
Yeah.
So while it's way better because that's an improvement of almost 7% for your team, and you're seeing the difference in the play, just that 7%. And I'm giving you credit because it's an improvement.
Well, yeah, and the inverse though is happening though now with Green Bay losing offensive linemen. That protection rate's going down. That's why you're seeing the screen passes. That's why you're seeing the bubble plays. That's why you're seeing Josh Jacobs getting hit. And actually, if you think about like the Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, dude, 2 years ago they could go 5 yards and not get touched. So you want to talk about and look at Detroit's offensive line is still really good, but now they're getting hit at the line. So I can tell you right now, Brad Holmes is going, all right, I need to start looking at some more O-linemen in the draft and start bringing some guys up because it's starting to fall back. And Green Bay used to be phenomenal at that. But for whatever reason, and look at it, I think the other thing is too, and then we'll go to whoever that was, Joe or Broski next. I think here's the other thing too that you're getting. Goody's, for the most part, hit on a lot of his signings. He's now missed on a couple. So his luck has kind of run out for a little bit. Maybe he needs to change up what he looks for and what he's doing because – right now, you're having a player personnel issue, not a head coach issue.
I can actually agree with that a little bit because I think a major part of why we're seeing the line go down, besides the mis-signing of Banks there, is that 2 years ago, for the first time in a long time, we did not take a single offensive lineman in the draft. So we kind of have a missing hole in our development process.
Paul Jones. I got to do something for him, and it's coming up in just a second. You know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Well, hurry up already.
Just for you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. That makes me laugh.
Well, you can tell all of us that are on the round table because we all danced, and Joe's just sitting there like, what the
Joe's
fuck
in
are
his
you guys
rocking
doing?
chair.
Hey, I was dancing. I was getting down. I was getting down.
I know Broski does because he loves it in the morning show when my dad pops in.
Hey, Joe's in the rocking chair going, what are these young whippersnappers doing? Back in my day, we didn't have these funky little dance moves that we did. I tell you, kids these days, it's almost like watching the Jets and the Patriots tonight. Oh, my goodness. Did you like the way I just did that segue? Yeah. I guess, now with the new Nor'easter, I'm going to give New England credit. First off, they're wearing their specialty uniform today.
I don't look like him.
They're calling it the Nor'easter, which is kind of a cool name that fits their region, right? The jersey itself is okay. I think the helmet's cool. But they're wearing their new Nor'easter jerseys, which I think will play a little bit better than Buffalo's. What they call Buffalo, the Blizzard uniform. I thought their helmet was cool. The jersey had some issues. But we got that game tonight.
I'm not a big fan of the jersey itself, but I will say I do like the helmets for
that
it.
was pretty slick.
What are the Jets wearing tonight?
Paper
just
bags.
Normal shit. But here's the thing.
Boring.
The line's 12.5 for the Pats, right? I mean, Vegas thinks this will be a blowout. But then here's the thing. The Jets are on a 2-game win streak. Oh, wait. After they got rid of Q, after they get rid of Sauce Gardner,
and
the heartbeats in their deep. Yeah, like, how's that for strange?
So I'm looking at the. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Vogel.
You go first.
I was looking at the weather. It's supposed to be 38 degrees, and the wind gusts are supposed to be gusty. It's supposed to be like 28.
Right. The weather here hits from Philadelphia east a day later than it does Michigan. You know what the temperature is going to be here in Michigan on Saturday? 64 degrees.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
So guess what that means it's going to be Sunday night in Philly with a low of 44, which means it doesn't hit the low till about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's going to be 60 degrees at game time.
Wow.
Though, here's the thing, though, for that game and for Thursday's game, the cold or the lack thereof doesn't affect these cold weather teams as much as if it would say it'd be Detroit.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
It does help. However, we'll see what comes along with it. But going back to tonight's game, I with the weather tonight, Vogel, I think like with the wind gusts, I think that might affect Mac Jones in his passing game a lot more.
Mac Jones.
Drake
Not Mac
May.
Jones,
Drake
Drake
May.
May. Look at
Hey, man,
You're only a few years. I
I'm
was going to
still-
say you're only a few years behind, buddy.
I know. It's like, look, you get so used to things. But yeah, it's like I think it'll affect Drake May's passing game a
At
little
least
bit.
he didn't say Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, not that far back. I'm still thinking about Mac Jones.
It's Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, because Mac is still in the brand because of what he's doing in San Francisco. But I mean, Drake May, I think it affects their passing game. And when I go to the run game, I like the idea of Fields and Brees Hall better than what's going on in New England. But that's why this will be a close game.
No, Travion
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Henderson, bro.
Trevion
Well-
Henderson, because Ramondre Stevenson is still out hurt, and Trevion Henderson had over 160 yards last week
Yeah.
and 3 touchdowns in
He
that win.
killed it. Hey, Ken,
Yep.
are you sure it's Drake May, not Steve? Sorry. Are you sure
Come on.
it's Drake May, not Tony Eason? I thought it was
Hey.
Tony Eason.
Oh,
Tony
wow.
Eason-
You stole it, man. I was going to say shout out Tony Eason.
I know because like he's going back to before he was born, right?
No, I was born in 90. No, yeah, that's right. I'm young. Stop it.
Did you forget when you were born, Will?
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, and I have so much knowledge in my head. I sometimes look, at,
Is that a trick question, Ken? When was I born?
So it's Joe Namath for. It's Joe
I don't know-
Namath
I don't know that-
versus Tony Eason.
I don't know that I like Brees Hall and Justin Fields more, but I think it's going to be a running type of game, and I think that's going to be interesting with the wind, the way it affects Drake May's passing. The one thing that it's not going to affect is Justin Fields' passing.
No.
So it's
But I
like
mean,
they're going to keep it on the ground, dude. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like for New England, they're more one-dimensional that way, whereas for the Jets, they're a
right?
little less.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of an advantage for the Jets because it
It
takes
is.
away a key part of New England's offensive game, or at least if it doesn't take it away, it's at least going to affect it. 30-mile-an-hour gusts, like that can have an
Well,
effect on a football.
That's why it ended up being the Trevion Henderson show last week in
Right.
Tampa, is because it was windy and they did do run. It was more of a running game for both teams. But guess what? New England's very good versus the run
Yeah.
defensively.
Yeah,
And they can run the ball.
So tonight, do not expect a passing extravaganza. Expect probably a running game. And the thing too that's interesting, like they're good. It's like the Bears. The Bears are good against the run if you're a running back, just not against the run if you're a quarterback. Let's see how New England does against a quarterback that runs versus the running back when he runs, because there is a difference.
Now,
But Drake May's-
Yeah, this could be a
Walk-
slugfest tonight.
And this game is actually very important for the division too, because with the Bills just getting ass raped by the Dolphins last week, like if the Patriots win this game, aren't they like 2 or 3 games ahead in the division now?
With,
Yeah.
with the tiebreak. With the tiebreak.
Mm-hmm. Now, just walk the dog with me on this one here.
We're walking a dog.
If Drake May, if Drake May ends up having a phenomenal game with the win that's going on, does this catapult him in the MVP talk?
Yes.
Probably. Because I think he's
One
sitting,
thing I was gonna
sitting in
mention about Drake May that I think people overlook is how athletic he is. He can actually run. Like he's actually fast.
Mhm.
He can really move. He doesn't do it that much in the NFL so far, but he has that capability. So I'm curious to see if he does that tonight.
And
That was a big part of his game at North Carolina, actually. Like, you know, he was very good in college at running.
Hey, bro.
I think he
By
has-
the way, sorry, JB. Go ahead. My bad.
I think he has 2 rushing touchdowns this year already.
Mhm. He does.
Off a
I
broken
think
play.
one was a game winner. By the way, Broski, the Dolphins are known as on this network as the violent aquatic sea mammals.
No,
Aggressive.
they're the overly aggressive.
Yeah, I
The
amended
overly
it last
aggressive.
night. I added the
That was
overly
great.
aggressive fighting team.
Overly-
Wow.
Well, Joe and I came up with the whole fact of these Dolphins are the same one from King of the Hill.
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight.
They took the Bills. Ken said this on Sunday when the game was going on. Ken said that the Dolphins took him into the dolphin rape cave.
Oh, God.
No, they don't have a cave. Remember, they go out on the boat and take them into the Everglades.
Oh my God!
No.
I hear
Wow.
banjos. Ding, 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 ding.
And then
You got a pretty mouth there, Joe.
Oh no!
Only in the mornings.
You,
on
you like
10 and
that
10.
bottleneck nose, don't you, Joe? You like that bottleneck nose.
Oh, my God.
Josh with a spicy take. He's taking the Jets tonight, the upset, and like that's where I was trying to get to. Josh, thanks. I think this game is kind of set up for an upset. And here's the thing too: the Jets we're kind of looking at the Jets like, oh yeah, the Jets they've only won 2 games, they suck, whatever. However, they've won 2 games in a row. AG's system is maybe catching on. Maybe here's the thing: they got rid of Q and Sauce. Maybe that was the right move because they didn't fit AG. I don't know what that story will be, but I wouldn't sleep on the Jets, man. I mean, it's easy to sleep on a team with a first-year head coach that started bad. But, dude, they're on a 2-game win streak, so something's starting to click for them. What
I'll
is
tell you what,
it?
upset alert tonight. Upset alert for tonight.
at least they beat the Browns.
Yes.
Hey, how did Green Bay do against them?
Because I was
and again,
gonna
this-
say, JB,
And again,
they
this
lost
game
to
is
the
super
Browns.
important for the division. Like, if the Jets can pull the upset, it keeps the Bills in the race. So it's like, the Bills are rooting for the Jets.
Hold on. Hold on. Has Chicago played the Browns yet this year?
No, but we beat them in a couple
Not
of
yet.
weeks.
Okay. Man, you better hope, beg, and pray that you beat them, because holy sheep shit, am I going to ram that sumbitch down your throat.
Hey, look, you tied
check.
the rating system. That should tell you all you need to know. When you tie the 1-star rating system,
Wait.
that should be all you need to know.
Is sheep shit more fertile than cow shit?
Hey, I gotta say something. Jim Jackson's in the chat. You know what he gets.
Oh, Joe, just join in. Just join in.
No, I wanted to
Joe's
say-
like, I refuse. I'm waiting.
One thing,
No,
one thing I noticed about the. Oh, go ahead, Cam.
Some of Joe's jiu-jitsu buddies might watch this show, so he might not be able to do it or get an elbow in the face.
Ken, I was going to
come
say
on,
the Packers.
Sorry. I was going to say, Joe, dance to the 70s porn music with us. Let's go.
So I wanted to say,
Upcoming on the Packers schedule are the Broncos and the Ravens. So the Packers are going to be playing the Ravens, possibly while the Ravens are getting it together.
Mhm.
And the Broncos
That's
are
gonna
no
be
joke.
tough.
So those are going to be 2 tough games.
Oh, the Broncos game, I expect to be another fucking like 10-7, 10-13, some type of game like that. In the Ravens, of course, we out of the division are the ones that get the Ravens when their backs against the wall.
Well, we got them when they just got healthy. So like we went in there thinking this is the unhealthy Ravens team. We should do okay, and they came out and said, "Yeah, hold on a sec. We're the team now today that you thought we were going to be," and they've been on a tear ever since.
Wait, you didn't face Lamar.
Well, Huntley beats us all the time, JB.
I just had to go there. I'm
I
sorry. I had
was-
to go there.
JB. Once again, their defense. Okay, let me break this down Barney style for Detroit fans, because obviously they don't get it. Their defense got healthy. Their defense got healthy. Like we walked in there, like, oh, all of a sudden they're like, hey, our defense is back, and we're like, oh crap. And ever since that, they've been on a tear. And I'll tell you one thing: Huntley was the smartest re-signing they ever made, because Huntley is the only backup quarterback in this league. Well, maybe not anymore, but he was. Huntley's that guy. Like if Lamar is out, they could always throw Huntley in there, and the drop off is like that. Between most backups and starters, it's like that. But with these two, they run the exact same playbook. They run the exact same plays. The only difference is Huntley is not as good of a runner as Lamar. And every other aspect, it's almost like they're identical twinsies. They're twinsies. I swear they live in the same house. So that's one of those weird things about that situation in Baltimore, it doesn't matter which quarterback it is. It's the health of that defense, and they've been healthy, and they've been buzzsawing people lately.
Man, but if you look at the
injury, I'll be discussing their injury report next hour. But I got to make me a coffee and have a smoke before I go live. I'm smoking JB for a reason.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, sir.
you know
We'll see you, buddy.
the Packers, like if you look at they're coming off what they've lost 2 straight games.
Yeah.
They got the Giants this week, then they got the Denver Broncos, and then they got the Baltimore Ravens. Like I would say at least 2 of those games are questionable games. Like,
hey, Luca, you have a shot at not being in the basement anymore.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm not saying they're going to lose. I'm just saying that they could potentially lose 2 out of the next 3 games. Right? Like that, man, they're hitting a rough stretch right now, dude.
And Luca, real quick, I'm sorry, guys. Let me go to Luca's comment here. I'm not saying he's on the same level as Lamar, but when he plays for Baltimore, okay, Lamar is like 1B to Lamar's 1A. For whatever reason, he fits them, they fit him, and you don't see a massive drop-off between them. They are obviously better with Lamar. Lamar's got some attributes that Huntley doesn't have, but Huntley is able to execute that offense like he was a starter would for any team. And they execute at a high level with Huntley, which isn't always the case with backups. And Huntley's unique in that situation in Baltimore, and Lamar has said this himself, actually. So, I mean, when you play Baltimore, whether you're getting Lamar or you're getting Huntley, yes, there's a difference, but it's very minute because they run everything the exact same way with Huntley as they do Lamar, and you don't see that with backups in this league.
I'm pretty sure, if I have to guess, in practice, some practices, not all of them, Tyler Huntley plays the role of Lamar for the second stringers.
Yeah.
Oh, running scout team.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
Those 2 guys are. I mean, it's funny because when they've talked about this situation they've got, with them, they talk like they're brothers. I actually got to see Lamar play in college. I went to see Clemson, Louisville, because my brother went to Clemson. It was Deshaun against Lamar. It was the year Lamar won the Heisman. Clemson won the game, thank God. But man, you knew that kid was going to be special when how he played that game. Yeah, Jim, I think everyone's got tough schedules coming up now because you're getting a lot of division play. And I know the Bears, our schedule's not great in terms of ease. The Vikings, they don't have an easy schedule.
Yeah, we got 5 divisional games coming up.
Yeah, we got a lot of divisional games.
Actually, I take that back. So you got Denver and the Broncos, you got Denver and the Ravens coming up, but they're not back-to-back weeks because you got the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's even worse, dude. So you got
we actually have 4. We have the Bucks, the Saints again, and the Falcons this week.
Well, you get the Falcons and the Saints are yeah.
I wouldn't say cakewalk because we lost even to the Falcons.
Well, he's talking though about Carolina though.
Hey,
man, but the Packers, dude, they got. I mean, look at it. So they're going to play the Giants. Then they're going to I think they'll skip to what. The Lions on Thanksgiving, or do they have a game in between that?
No, we got the Giants, and then we got the Vikings, and then it's the Lions.
Oh,
so see,
and then it's the Bears right after the Lions, Broncos, and then the Bears again.
Who did the
and then the Ravens after that,
and then the Ravens after that.
And if you're the Vikings, you get the Bears, followed by the Packers, followed by the Sea Chickens. At least that game's in Seattle, so you have a little bit more of a chance than if it was at home. Because we all know Seattle's a better road team than home. Then they get a break. December 7th, the Vikings get the Commanders at home. They get a break. So that at the beginning of the year, that looked like a hard game. Now, not so much.
What about
then the Vikings? Detroit? Who they get after that? I mean,
what's the Vikings have a tough schedule coming up besides this week?
Oh, then the Vikings get the Cowgirls, so they get a little bit of a break. Was it now, Will?
I said, what's Detroit's upcoming schedule besides Philly?
They got Green Bay on Thanksgiving.
Yep. And then after that, let me see, they get Green Bay. Then they get the 1-star rating system. They should win that game at home. Then after that, they get. Hold on, I'm looking for the game. Then they go. Then they got the Rams in LA. That's gonna be a good game.
Yep.
So I mean, they've got some tough games coming up right now. That part of the schedule is gonna be tough for a lot of the NFC North. But I don't envy of all the teams. The schedule I envy the least right now is Green Bay's.
Mm-hmm. Especially
better
with
start
what's already going on.
Yeah.
We better start hitting on all cylinders. Otherwise, we might be seeing the firing of LaFleur just with the way the
You might be
schedule's
living in
worked
the
out.
basement. You might
So
be.
I want to ask before the show ends, quick yes or no, just quick yes or no. With McDaniel winning against Buffalo, is he saved his job for the rest of the year because he has to play
Yes.
Tampa and a few other hard games?
Yes.
I think he might have.
Yeah. For the rest of the year, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think ownership really likes him, and that's why they even stated a couple weeks ago they weren't going to make any head coaching changes. Then they come out and they win a couple big games. Yeah, I like McDaniel too. Besides, I love his press conferences; they're great. But I think he has the locker room still, and that's the key. McDaniels has the locker room. As long as you have the locker room, your chance of getting fired goes down dramatically.
Yeah.
I think they're going to hire a new GM. And now he's going to have to win with that new GM, or that new GM is going to go get his guy eventually. But I think their other problem is Tua. To be honest, and here's the problem with Tua. I get it though, because Tua has these games. You're like, well, this kid's fucking fire. And then you got games
you
like,
still
dude,
need to move
you
on.
can't hit the broadside of the broad. Then you get other games with Tua where it's like you can't hit the broadside of a barn with a sawed-off shotgun. What's the matter with you?
I think they might need to go the Denver Broncos route with Russell Wilson and just release him and eat that dead cap for it. Because it's not like Tua's going to get any healthier.
Well, Tyreek Hill too, for that matter.
Shit, you might as well go full rebuild at that point. I wouldn't be against that. Now, granted, it's going to suck since you already got an incumbent head coach, but he might have a little bit of grace period by starting a rebuild and give himself an extra year.
Yeah, it just depends on what's out there in the quarterback market via draft or free agency for them this offseason, to be honest with you. Because it's like the Bears, it's like Bears fans. Well, we didn't go sign a cornerback. What corners are out there that we would be able to get right now that's worth spending the money? If there's the guy has to be better or at the same level with higher upside or better than the guy you currently have. If that's not out there in the draft or in free agency, you don't make the move. I mean, and fans don't like to hear that because I want the new guy now. But dude, if the guy's not there, the guy's not there. And I'm just going to take a guy and replace a guy just because.
Ken, what were you saying? Bearded?
Yeah, good question. Good.
I was gonna say,
memory like that. Come on.
I was gonna say you're asking the wrong guy. I've already fucking broke out the vape for today. You ain't getting no short-term memory out of me.
Broski can tell you what I'm talking about because we've had this discussion about the Bears. Like, hey, we need to go get an edge, but there's no edge guy out there to sign that's been worth the money. And we've had guys that, as fans, Broski, I say, ooh, you'd really like to see player X. And then player X signs somewhere else and doesn't do shit. And we go, oh, maybe Poles knew something we didn't. So, I mean, as a fan, it's kind of hard because we see the tip of the iceberg. We don't see the 90% of it that's underwater. So, like, when you're looking at Miami, you go, well, Tua, okay, there's got to be a guy in the draft that is going to be able to do what Tua does, at least as good right now with higher upside, or be better. And the Bears, we see that between Justin Fields and Caleb. Why do we jettison Justin, who I was a fan of keeping, mind you, back in the day, and we went with Caleb. And after I saw Caleb play last year, it was like, oh, now I get it because his upside was so much higher than Justin's. So, I mean, that's where Miami is. You've got Tua. There are days he likes the world on fire. Then there are days it's like, dude, like, your head not right. You know what I mean? So, and look at it. I think if I'm Miami's new GM, I'm drafting a quarterback in the second round or something that I could put behind Tua because he's just one. And we talk about all the time, but dude, he hasn't been out. He hasn't missed a game this year for concussion. Last year, I don't think did he miss a game last year? I think last year he
I
was
think-
concussion free too.
No, I think he had one last year.
So I mean, after the wobble season, that hasn't been as much of an issue. It's just been his play that's the issue. So I wouldn't fault the overly aggressive aquatic sea mammals. If they go out and get a quarterback,
Bottlenose.
bottlenose, yes.
If I was the Dolphins, I would be seriously looking at Lenoris Sellers. If you're looking at a quarterback in the second round, he's projected to be like a third round pick, but I have a feeling somebody's going to take him in the second just to beat the rest of the market. Like Sellers has been pretty good, and I don't know. If I was the Dolphins, I would consider picking up Sellers in the second round.
I was going to say, Joe, you might be onto something because we know I'm not much of a college guy at all, but even I've heard about Sellers this year.
Yeah, and you know who he reminds me of? Like spitting image, like he's Justin Fields.
Well, and see, and look at and before the season started, Broski, it's a beautiful point because remember before the season when Justin signed with the Jets, what I say? I said, man, he would probably been better suited to go to Miami because that offense suits Justin Fields more. So if Sellers is what you're saying, Broski, then he will flourish in Miami's offense. And look at you bring him in, and like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that happens is that he never sees a field because, oh yeah, Tua gets it right, and all of a sudden as a quarterback you hoped he would be. But now your other side is if Tua falters, if Tua becomes a guy that you take like Rusk and jettison, now you've got your guy. So I mean, I would not be surprised because look at Miami's not a bad football team. They've got some talent. They just have minor talent issues at times.
Yes, but if they start that rebuild and get rid of Tyreek, I think that massively hampers the offense for like a Justin Fields type of
Tyreek's
style.
already gone. He's out.
Yeah, no. That's my point. Is now you only have Waddle to throw that deep ball to instead of having two outside receivers to throw the deep ball.
But you could always use your first round pick on a receiver.
Yeah. And look, like Tyreek this year was not really. Look, Tyreek might be one of those things where he makes them better by subtraction, because they weren't beating these teams with Tyreek. They're beating teams without Tyreek. Tyreek might be a distraction.
Well, yeah, when you got to sit there and have the daycare for all of his kids, you can understand why it's a distraction.
hey, bro.
Never mentioned a spicy take here on Ken and Ken.
Hey, bro.
What up, Joe?
You don't think that Sellers actually throws the ball better than Fields? I feel like he does.
Dude, he's the exact same guy, man. Like I'm like same size, same style. Like I think he throws a good, like pretty deep ball with a tight spiral, nice arm, just like Fields, but as far as like being a quarterback who's gonna be able to like read defenses and make those short to intermediate touch passes and out passes and stuff like that, I don't think so. Like he's to me like the modern Justin Fields.
He can hit a coffee cup 40 yards downfield, but couldn't hit a stop sign 10 foot in front of him.
But you know what though? That's why you draft in the second round and you try to develop them. And what's your worst case scenario there? Second rounder. So I mean,
second or third round, absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense. So. I mean, that it's me interesting to watch them play this weekend. The overly aggressive bottlenose aquatic sea mammals. It might be more interesting to watching the Jets game tonight. But wouldn't it be funny if the Jets pull up the upset and win 3 in a row, and all of a sudden, with the division being the way it is and the AFC being the way it is, they could also find themselves in some kind of contention or having the dreams of it.
Ken, I was with you all the way until you said the Jets could find themselves into contention.
Good morning, House. Well, look at the way the AFC is right now. A 3-win team is still in contention. It's not that way necessarily in the NFC.
They would have to go on a serious run, but
they would.
I mean, it's not impossible.
But wouldn't it be funny if they're in the midst of a serious run, just like Baltimore is, and just like the Redskins are? Oh, I mean, they're doing theirs in reverse though. But I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, look at this is a streaky league. Why not? I mean, we have 2 teams that have won 7 straight. Why not the Jets in this league where most games are 1-score games anyways? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, if you're a Jets fan, you're going, you know what? If we win tonight, that's what the Jets fans are going to, if we win tonight, we might be able to win this game. They just lost to the Dolphins, and we might be able to do something.
There's a lot of drugs in New Jersey, but I don't think there's enough drugs to give Jets fans hope.
Damn.
They don't need much. They're Jets fans.
No,
believe it.
they need a lot because they have no hope. I know a lot of Jets fans. They're damn near ready to give up on the season before the draft.
So, Ken, it's interesting you bring that up because when you live in New Jersey, like I feel like you get immune to drugs because you breathe that drugged out, filthy air all day long. So you kind of build up a tolerance. You know, you're going to need a lot. You're going to need something powerful.
Real quick, let me
Thank you.
look at their schedule. If the Jets win today, could they just beat the Bengals? They beat the Browns. If they beat the Pats, well, then they get the buzzsaw and the Ravens. They can beat the Falcons. Then they get the aquatic sea mammals. Then they get the Jags, and they get the Saints, and they get the Pats, then they get the Bills. I mean, they're looking at scheduling what's going to be tough, but we could probably string together 3 or 4 more wins. And here's the thing: in the AFC, you know, I mean, that's not in their division. They could, if they go 3-7 today. And I mean, they're going to be drinking some hopium. I don't think they can do it, but they're going to start drinking some hopium.
I think they're going to have to
straight. Things get happy in your city.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to go past drinking the hopium, and they're going to have to start freebasing it.
I mean, look at
going to need a miracle.
Look at Big Hoss. Like
hopium to opium.
He's ready to hit Mardi Gras.
They're going to have to start mainlining it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, before I do run out of time, we got 4 minutes left. Tomorrow we'll have some more of this tomorrow for sure. We'll probably talk about what a terrible game tonight's going to be. There was no passing; it was just running. Oh my god! And then tomorrow we'll do our predictions for the weekend, which there'll be some good. This weekend looks like it's going to be better than last weekend. Too many blowouts last weekend. Man, this is a crazy league. Remember, this is the league where in week 1 you go from. This is so true. The dichotomy of this league. The Packers blow out the Lions, who blow out the Bears, who blow out the Cowboys, who tie the Packers, who lose to the Browns, and then the Browns lose to Detroit. Everyone beats everyone in this league is what I'm getting to. It's like any given Sunday is so true this year, more so I think than some other weekends. I mean, look at you get the Dolphins beating the Bills last week.
Yeah.
Not just beating them, they bottlenosed them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Luca, I'm sorry, but you'll be hanging that L flag in Minnesota this weekend. I'm just going to state that now for you.
Yeah, Luca, all you need to worry about is if delicate JJ makes it through the game.
That's the other thing too that we don't have enough time to really get into today. But man, a lot of these quarterbacks that we've talked so highly about being taken in these draft classes, JJ can't be healthy. We got these Jaden Daniels, not durable. Drake May, Caleb Williams, both durable. Penix, not durable. Right? Yep. I mean, the durability of these quarterbacks is becoming an issue, and that's why I always.
Injured?
What?
Is Penix injured?
Yeah, did Penix get injured?
I don't think he did.
Prone for a while.
No, but actually, he had his last 2 years in college. He was healthy. He didn't get hurt last year, and I don't think he's hurt this year.
He got hurt. He got hurt. That's why they took him out initially, and I think they're.
Ken's right because Kirk had to play for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's his first injury.
Durability, but still durability is an issue. And CJ Stroud hasn't been durable. He just hasn't lived up to the rookie year hype. So my bigger point on all this is with these young quarterbacks, you got to give them 3 years before you judge them the Messiah.
Hold on. I have to draw attention to Fred's comment here.
Oh, Jesus. And on that.
Wow.
Shout
out, Fred.
On that hot, spicy, fiery take this morning, I hope I don't get banned from X now. Woo! Be back here tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the game tonight. Thank you for everyone coming on. Vogel, JB, Broski, of course, Joe's who's there every day. My co-host Ken. We'll be back here tomorrow. Should be a fun day, and we got some good games this weekend. We'll be talking about tomorrow. Enjoy Thursday night football. We don't have anything else besides JB after us, so go check out JB here in about 30 seconds on Rumble, YouTube, and the network, and on X. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Drink some coffee.